Life can be tricky. It challenges you to remember where you came from so you can know where you're going. At the same time, it wants you not to get stuck in the past and remain in the present moment. Unfortunately, there's no blueprint for any of this. Life doesn't provide it. But here at the Inner Circle Counseling Show, we can help you balance it all. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Live from Inner Circle Studios, we are broadcasting from the basement with our blinders on. This is the Inner Circle Counseling Show, where America goes for counseling. I know you're wondering why I'm wearing these glasses, and probably like, he's never done this before. Dude's got a hat on. This is slightly a different introduction because we have a special show today, and I will do this show with the blinders off, but they might go back on, so don't be surprised. But this show is a special show. It's our first segment of its kind, and we'll organically weave this into future segments, into the full-fledged show. This is what I call it's Miller's time. Not Miller time, it's Miller's time. You know my last name is Miller. And this is where you guys can have direct interaction with me by writing in, making comments on the YouTube channel or Instagram. It's the Ask the Therapist segment. And I really like this segment. I think it's going to be a popular one. And the first segment, the first question of this segment ever in our show's history came from a YouTuber. And he asked me, he says, Miller, listen, man, you do a lot, man. You work at your middle school, you got the show, you got the practice. I know, dude said, I know there's a lot coming at you. I know you got a lot on your shoulders. He said, how do you stay focused? And I thought about that. I said, wow, that's a really, really deep question, really solid question. That's a get to know you question. And so it's time to put them back on. And it's time to put your blinders on for your own good. This is one way I stay focused. Ironically, it's glasses, but you'll understand why I didn't call these glasses. I call them blinders. And before I go too deep into this, I didn't realize until one day, and I'm going to show you how I realized this. Race horses wear these things called blinders. And I didn't know what those were. And then I got a sense of what they were through this. I want to show you this. Check this out, guys.
What anybody thinks. When you're a racehorse, right? The reason why they put blinders on these things, because if you look at the horse on the left or the horse on the right, you're going to miss a step. So that's why those horses have fucking blinders on. And that's what people should have. When you're running after something, you should not look left and right. What does this person think? What does that person think? No. Go.
Let's see, before we go too far, I'll go back a little bit. When I saw that's courtesy of HBO. There's a show called The Defiant Ones. It's all about like Dr. Dre and people like him. That is Jimmy Iovine. He helped Dr. Dre create the Beats headphones, and very special man. But in that segment of the show, he talked about like the focus he needs and how he gets it. And I just thought that was amazing. But I thought he left something out, the therapeutic side, like the how and why. So, but nevertheless, these horses, it's required for them to run, or like you saw in the video there, catastrophic circumstances can develop if those horses are not focused at the highest level. They're running with such determination, power, and with direction that if anything gets in their way, whether it comes in front of them or beside them, there's going to be significant issues. And so I drew the conclusion, or the connection rather, with those horses and humans, kind of like Iovine did. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper. So we saw the video, and I want to roll this out a little bit deeper and ask the question why. And if you've seen this show before, or this is your first time here, you're going to hear me say, why? I'm going to encourage you when people are educating you, giving you new content, whether it's your teacher, mom, or dad, I think it's okay to ask why in a respectful way. And so we bring this to you here. We bring the why to you here at the Inner Circle Counseling Show because we teach you how to do life. There's no blueprint to any of this, as you see in the show intro. So we've developed some things and we got the why. So why do we need these blinders? Let me get to it. I'm doing a lot of talking. Let's teach. They are essential for success. They're like above the why. Like we have to have them. I have to have these in my life. As the writer asked me, why do I do this? They promote, I will get the promotion, the second point, but they are a healthy protective mechanism. There's a lot of unhealthy mechanisms. This is a healthy one that conceals you from the outside forces that promote focus and create healthy boundaries. On this show, we talk about boundaries a lot and how they develop, where you can get them when you're younger. But we talking big people problems and little people problems where these boundaries will help you stay focused at any level of education. If you're a first year med student, kind of in your bag trying to grind, I got shout out to my people at Wayne State Med School and everywhere else. You guys need these blinders. I'm thinking about y'all right now. You gotta have these blinders. They protect us from distractors. The people over there waving, hey, it's like you driving, you see someone on the sidewalk. That don't have nothing to do with you. That doesn't have anything to do with you. These blinders help you stay focused and stay in your own lane. There was a commercial. I can't remember the commercial, but I remember the guy said, stay in your lane, bro. It was a funny commercial, but that connects with this directly. They protect us from distractors. They also protect us from haters. I had to pause for a quick second because I know not everyone watching this is happy that we're helping people. And I don't have the time to figure you out. I really don't care because I got my blinders on, these babies on, make sure that I don't have to worry about you. So if you a hater, then you can't get to us because we got our blinders on. And I suggest you have your blinders on as well. This is an interesting pivot here. And it'll get your kind of your red flags up. They protect us from others' achievements. Now, we're human too. We have a little jealousy and envy as well. And if we're running a race as hard as these horses are, and we don't win, and we see someone cross that finish line before you do, I know you've seen that before. I know it. It triggers you and makes you feel some type of way, as my young people say. But we can't let that stop us from completing the race because we're completing it at our own time and pace. So it's critical during a race. You can't win every race, but the race you're running needs to be complete. These blinders help us do that. So it keeps us away from others' achievements. They have nothing to do with us. It also keeps us away from others' failures. And this is key for some of us. There's some of you that come through the practice, and you guys know who you are if you're watching. You feel bad if someone else fails. Then you lower your standard down and you forget to complete your own race. And Inner Circle, listen, that we don't promote that. We promote starting, participating, and completion of our own races. It's nice to be sensitive to others' needs, but not when you're running such an important life race. Sometimes you have to leave people behind. And that's very difficult to do and a hard pill to swallow. I think we might do another show on that. How to successfully leave people behind. I gotta write that down. That one might get me in trouble. So let's pivot. A couple more here. Won't keep you long. These blinders help us keep focus and away from those cheering for you. And that's a weird one. The cheering looks like this. Oh, Bobby, you're so smart. You should have no problem in that AP blah, blah, blah class. Parents, that's just a parent example. Kids hate that. It puts like these expectations on them that are not required. Blinders help keep from that. I think that's another show too. People cheering from you can actually cause you to fail or have have a role and impact in you completing your own race. And then lastly, I like this one. You got to look really close at the horse. The blinders protect you from the past. You can't look back with blinders on. And in these blinders, they have a little curve. So imagine this horse racing, galloping, looking back at the other horses, and then turning around and realize the race has already completed. You cannot look back with blinders on. They keep us focused and keep distractors from behind us and from the sides. Wear your blinders, folks. Wear them. I got mine. All right. Let's pull this together. That was the why. This is the how. And a lot of therapists forget that we always know why. We know what's up, but we don't tell people how to do it. So this is how I do it. There are a number of different ways to get this done. How do you make this happen in your life? 1, get comfortable being alone. That means you got to love yourself to like the highest levels. And that means turning this phone off. If I got a phone here kind of on a second screen, and be comfortable in the silence. 2, get your ego in check. I remember when I was younger, probably in my 20s, man, I used to be the smartest man in the room. And it's nothing wrong with that, but the issue is it prevents you from listening. And I was just watching something, it was 60 Minutes with Rich Paul, that's LeBron James and others, agent. And he said, I like going in a room and just listening. It puts me on a level to learn where I need to go. Once I hear where I need to go, then I go. But I can't get there from listening. He's a brilliant man. I urge you to link up with that 60 Minutes program with Rich Paul. Get your ego in check. 3rd, get comfortable around others. So earlier I said get comfortable being alone, but get comfortable around others. If you're slightly insecure around other people, different behaviors will begin to show themselves just so you can feel comfortable around them. If you get comfortable around them organically, where you can just be yourself, and listening and goes into that along with the ego, you'll fit in just fine. You'll stay in your lane and your blinders will work very well. These are interesting. They're all interrelated and connected. Get your insecurities in check. That's a tricky one because we all are insecure, but we know what we're insecure about. And to get them in check, you have to acknowledge what you're insecure about. And a lot of people used to say that used to be a man thing. I'm finding a lot of young ladies not admitting and being authentic and honest about their insecurities. And it's getting them, and the guys too, into a lot of trouble in these social interactions. And so it makes it difficult to put blinders on when you're denying that you're insecure. Get your insecurities in check. And then lastly, this has been all in the news a lot lately. Limit your social media exposure. That's like the opposite of blinders. That's like taking all the blinders off. Let me look into your life to see what you have that I don't. And then all the envy and all the insecurity, they really hit hard then. Matter of fact, I think Meta, the owners of Instagram and Facebook, are currently being sued by, I believe, 33 state attorney generals as it relates to how their practices lead to addiction, social media addiction, if I'm recalling right, in children and adolescents. So that's not promoting having your blinders on. That's the social media platforms telling you, hey, just take the blinders off. You know, everybody else is important. We're going to teach you a lot of things that keep you locked in on this social media and promote some insecurities. And it's having a significant impact on individuals' mental health. So I hope you enjoyed this show. I thank the person who wrote in. It really inspired me. I liked doing this show. The blinders, man. I'm always going to rock mine. I always have them with me. You don't always see them, but they're on. If you need help, like establishing your boundaries and your blinders, just reach out to us. run this episode back. I think it has some good content, some solid how-tos, and it connects to the why very well. I know we're coming into the winter season, and it's a tough season for a lot of us in terms of mental health. Stay locked in, stay tuned to the Inner Circle, and reach out to your local therapist. You can shoot us a message to. We're rooting for you. We love you. We support you. Do the best you can. Stay locked in. We're here at the Inner Circle.